What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mohawk Motors. My name is Jason. Today, I'm going to show you the very basics of using HP tuners to tune your LS project and get it running.
Okay, so let's cover just the very basics of using HP tuners. So when you open up the VCM editor, this is where you're going to be. This is the screen you should see. And the first thing you're going to need to do is get a file open. Now, whether that's downloading the stock file from the vehicle you're working on, or if you already have one saved, either doesn't matter. If you need to scan it from the computer, connect up to the vehicle, turn the key to on, and then click the read button. This is going to read the entire PCM. Now, to read the entire PCM, it's going to take between 4 and 5 minutes. It's super, super important. When you go to write the PCM, you need to be sure you have a good battery, that your voltage is going to stay above 11 volts the entire time. And that's with key on. So make sure all your lights are off, make sure your defroster and stuff is off. If there's any chance your battery is not going to be able to maintain 11 volts for the entire 5 to 6 minutes, hook it up to a charger, put it on a slow trickle charge to make sure your voltage stays up above that 11 volts. There we go, coming through the last couple seconds. It'll finish reading and then it'll clean up. And it's going to prompt you to save the file. Save it as whatever you want to save it as. This is not the stock file for me. I've already been working on this PCM. So I'm just going to save it as October 30th as found. And that's what I title any tune that I download from a vehicle that I know has already been tuned, just so I don't get confused of what's stock and what isn't. So you save it. Now your file is open. Now, I'm not going to mess with this file right now, so I'm going to close it, and I'm going to open a stock file. And this is the stock tune for the truck that I'm working on. It's a 2006 2500 HD. So now I have the stock file opened up. The first thing you need to do in order to have the same screens, the same options, everything else, and in order to actually be able to make some changes that are going to have impact, is go into Edit, View, and set your HP tuners to Advanced View. It's going to tell you, if you do that, you have to close and reopen any forms or anything like that in order for it to take effect. You click OK, close the file you're in, and then just reopen that file. So now we're ready to actually make some changes on this thing. And the first thing you're going to need to do if you're doing any kind of swap or anything else, and maybe even if you're just working on your own vehicle, it's in the vehicle it came in, but you want to get rid of the anti-theft system, is you go to System, and under the General tab, it should automatically pop you up there. You're going to see Security and VATS Control. Everyone I've seen, the factory setting is serial. You click that drop down, it's going to give you 3 options: serial, PWM, or none. And if you're trying to get rid of it, you're going to click none and then close that window. In the Gen 3 411 PCMs, that's all you need to do to remove VATS, to remove the anti-theft and get it to start in a different vehicle and a swap, or just ignore any of the security features. Once you've made that change, then save it as a new. So save as. Give it a name so you'll remember it. Save. Now you can write the computer. So you click Write Vehicle. Now it defaults to Write Calibration. Right calibration will not remove VATS. So you need to check this drop down and select right entire. And you see right away it gives you this little red message that says brickable. Before you click this right button, you need to be 100% sure that your voltage isn't going to drop below 11 volts for 4 to 5 minutes that it's going to take to do this right, and that you're not going to be getting in, getting out, turning stuff on, turning stuff off. You want the ignition key on, you want to click right, you want to be certain that your voltage isn't going to drop below 11 volts, and you want to not touch anything for that 5 minutes. So you click right, and it'll get started. Now, like I said, we're writing the entire PCM. You have to do that in order to actually remove the VATS system from it. If you turn the key off or accidentally unplug, or your voltage drops below 11 or 10 or 10 and a half, or your battery comes disconnected, any of those things will brick the PCM. And basically, it's what it sounds like. It turns your little nice 411 PCM into a brick. There are people that can fix them, but it's not going to be something you can do by yourself. It's not going to be something you can do with HP tuners. You're more than likely going to need to pay somebody a substantial sum of money to fix the computer, or get yourself another one and rewrite the entire thing. Now, it didn't happen for me because I've already unlocked this PCM. If you haven't unlocked the PCM before, HP Tuners is going to require that you buy credits to do it. And it takes 2 credits to unlock a PCM. They're about $50 a piece from HP Tuners. I haven't found anywhere else that sells them any cheaper. So plan on it's going to cost you about $100 to be able to remove VATS from a PCM. Now, you only have to unlock it, and I say unlock in air quotes, you only have to unlock that PCM one time, and you can make as many changes to it as you want. Tuning changes, programming changes, add electric fans, remove electric fans, add automatic transmission, remove automatic transmission. If you have a PCM that came with a manual transmission and you want to add automatic transmission programming, that can all be done without purchasing any additional credits. Once you pay that $100, you buy those 2 credits to unlock that PCM, you should be able to do and make any changes that you need to do to it. Some things are more complicated than others, and you have to do what's called a segment swap or copy and paste files into your PCM. But once you've unlocked it, you should not have to pay to do anything else to it. There we go. Last couple seconds. It's going to finish the write. Then it's going to say cleaning up, just like it did when we read it. Then it'll tell you write completed. Once it says that, turn your key off, and then you should be able to start the vehicle. There we go. Now, once you've removed VATS, let's say we made some changes to fueling, to timing. We'll get into those in a later video, but let's say we've made some other changes. Now, we don't need to do write entire. We only need to do what it defaults to, write calibration. So, fueling changes, spark changes, airflow changes, things like that. Things where you're adjusting maps, where you're adjusting the actual running parameters of the engine, you only need to do write calibration. As far as I know, you cannot brick the PCM while doing a write calibration. So it's a little lower stress. You know, if the battery dies while you're doing that, it's not a big deal. You're just going to have to charge the battery and then do the write again because it may not have finished. when you remove VATS, or if you make an operating system change like adding or removing electric fans, adding or removing automatic transmission controls, those things you will need to do right and tire. Calibration changes, fuel, spark, airflow, shift points, line pressure, fan on, fan off temperatures, those things you only need to do right calibration.
Well, that's it for this video, everybody. We've got HP Tuner set to advanced view, and we've removed the anti-theft system from the computer. That's going to allow us to make all the other changes we need to make. Next video you see on this subject is going to be actually tuning and getting it to idle, but that's going to be in a different video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found this helpful. And until the next time, take care.